Hello, my name is Charles Cabrera. Today, I'm going to show you 3 simple methods to match fonts. First, you will learn the basics of using match font using a simple image. Then we will work with a difficult image and I will show you a technique to solve that problem. Then I will show you how to search for a font on Adobe fonts to get a more accurate result. Let's first start with a simple example so I can show you how the match font tool works. I'm sure you've seen a font that you liked and you wanted to use it in your own project. Best thing to do is get a clear image of the font you want to use. So this image on layer 0, all we have to do is come up here to type, match font, and now you need to move these handles and make a selection, usually over one line, and bring it in as close as you can, crop it in, and then you'll see the match font window on the right. It's searching for fonts. On the top, you can see that there's only one font found on the computer, and the fonts below are from Adobe. If you want an Adobe font, all you need to do is click on the arrow on the left-hand side of the font name. I'm going to select this top font and say OK. I'm going to select the type tool, and you will see the name of the font that I selected at the top of the window. I'm going to click on the image in the screen right now and type in National Park and commit the change. And if I select that and bring up the font size a little bit, just to give you a better idea, and that font looks pretty good. So now Match Fonts searches fonts on your computer and in Adobe Fonts. So it's going to give you the closest match to what it can find. You may not be able to get a 100% match, so you're going to probably use the font that's the closest match. Sometimes, depending on the image you are using to match the font, Photoshop might not be able to get a good match of the font. In this example, if we try to match the font, as before, we try and select around the letters as much as possible. But you can see that in the match font window, Photoshop is searching and finally came up with something, but it doesn't look too good. If the image is not straight or the perspective is off, you may need to correct the image before using match font. So I'm going to cancel out of this, and I'm going to use something called Perspective Crop Tool. I'm going to start by using the top of this building right here, or this ledge, as a guide, and try and match the perspective of the text. So I can move these handles until I get the lines to kind of line up with the text. And so as I move this back and forth, I see that it looks pretty good. And you can keep on adjusting these handles to get exactly what you want. And I'm still going to crop in here and try and get everything as close as possible. And I'm going to commit this change. Now, after using the Perspective Crop tool, we can come up here to type, match font, and again I'm going to make my selection around the lettering and get the selection correct. And Photoshop is searching for fonts, and I am going to select the top font, which is Adobe Hebrew Bold, and say OK. So now I'll select my text tool, and at the top it says Adobe Hebrew Bold, and what I'm going to do is make this a little bit bigger because I want to show you how it looks. And I'm going to fill this area in with black, and I'm going to type hotel, and I want to move this over so that you can see the font, and it looks pretty darn close. So that is after straightening out a difficult example. Up until now, we've used the font match in Adobe Photoshop, but there is a more flexible and possibly more accurate way to match your fonts. It's still an Adobe product, but it's at a different location. So this is the Adobe Fonts website. It's fonts.adobe.com. I will leave a link in the description. This has quite a bit more functionality. What we're going to do is upload this image to this site, and we can either do this where it says Browse Fonts or Typekit Web Fonts. So we're on Typekit Web Fonts, and with this camera right here, we can upload that file that I just showed you in Photoshop. That's the same file that we straightened out and upload it to the Adobe site. It's going to scan it. There's the file it scanned, and you have these handles on each side of the word hotel, and it looks pretty close, but you can move those in case you need to crop it in more. So you just make sure that it is selected properly, then hit next step. And it sure scanned it funny, but if it did not put in the word correctly, you can put it in hotel, say next. So some of the features of this, I could change the font of the examples. I can enter my own text. We're going to stick with hotel. And so what you do is kind of scroll through to see which one did you like the most. I think I like this Trajan Pro 3 semi-bold right here. Looks pretty close. So you don't get this preview like this in Photoshop. And so if I activate this font, it's telling me that it's gone to Creative Cloud to sync up with Photoshop. And then if I go back into Photoshop, click on my text tool and drop down, and here is my font right here, Trajan Pro 3. Select that. I'm going to type in hotel again and move this over, make my font a little smaller, and there is probably a better match. So if you want to know more about Photoshop, click on this playlist here. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, and share this video. And remember, it's never too late to learn. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.